If you are gearing up to buy your first place or maybe sell your current home or
Or if you're an investor hunting for that next perfect property.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah,
you are in exactly the right place. Welcome to today's deep dive.
it's great to be here.
And real quick, this deep dive is brought to you by Forest Hill Real Estate, the Stinchen branch right here in London, Ontario.
Right.
You can always check out www.foresthilldistinction.com. It's just a fantastic resource for expert information.
Highly recommend checking them out.
Yeah. So today, our mission is to dig into the real estate data for the London and St. Thomas region, specifically from February 2026.
Right, so we can figure out exactly where this market is heading as we push into the busy spring season.
Yeah, because the shift from winter to spring always alters the market dynamic.
It does, and these February numbers paint a very clear picture of what you should expect over the next few months.
Okay, let's unpack this, because looking through these reports, there is a very real, growing sense of movement out there.
Definitely. I mean, if you look at the sales data, we saw exactly 410 homes sold across the region in February.
Which is what, roughly 19% below last year's pace?
Right, about 19% lower, but it's a solid, noticeable jump up from January.
So how do we interpret that?
Well, we have to look at the context of that 19% drop compared to last year. It tells us there is still some lingering buyer hesitation out there.
Sure.
But that month-over-month jump from January, that indicates momentum is quietly building.
So people are finally getting off the fence.
Exactly. It's a strong signal of renewed activity as people just shake off the winter chill and start getting serious about their housing goals.
Here's where it gets really interesting. If you are a buyer, you finally have some breathing room.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we are seeing expanding inventory. We're hitting roughly 2,400 active listings on the market.
Which translates to 5.9 months of inventory.
Right. And for anyone unfamiliar with that metric, it basically means if not a single new house hit the market today, it would take almost 6 months to sell everything currently listed.
And in real estate, anything right around that 6-month mark is considered a very healthy, balanced market.
Yeah.
What's fascinating here is how that specific number shifts the entire landscape. That level of supply means buyers actually have choices again.
They can breathe.
Exactly. For the first time in a long while, if you're buying, you've regained some real negotiation leverage.
But on the flip side of that coin, sellers are facing increased competition.
Right. You aren't the only house on the block anymore.
Which naturally leads us to the financials. I'm looking at the average sale price, and it's holding extremely steady at $622,000.
Essentially identical to January.
Yeah, but an average can easily be skewed if, say, a few luxury mansions happen to sell in the same month.
Exactly, which is why we look at the composite benchmark price.
Right, which represents the typical everyday home. And that currently sits at $562,000.
For buyers who are terrified of massive price spikes, this consistency has to be a huge relief.
Oh, for sure.
The defining headline of this data is market stability. It is such a welcome change from the highly constrained, chaotic conditions we saw previously.
So the wild price swings are finally taking a backseat to predictability.
Exactly.
So what does this all mean? If you are listening to this right now and planning your next move, how do you actually use this information?
Well, the days of sticking a for sale sign in the dirt on Friday and getting 10 blind offers by Monday are clearly over.
Thank goodness.
Right. Navigating this market requires precision. If you are selling, precision in your pricing and your property's presentation is non-negotiable.
Think of it like prepping a car for sale.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just trade it in as is and expect top dollar anymore.
You really can't. You have to detail it, fix the dents, and price it competitively. Success right now is shaped by careful strategy rather than panic urgency.
Because we know there is pent-up demand out there.
There is, but with the Bank of Canada gearing up for an interest rate announcement, preparation is everything.
So to bring it all together, the London and St. Thomas market right now is balanced, it's stable, and it highly rewards strategic thinking.
Beautifully said.
But before we wrap up, we want to leave you with one final thought to ponder.
Go for it.
With the market finally reaching a balanced 5.9 months of inventory, how might the upcoming Bank of Canada interest rate decisions tip this delicate equilibrium between buyer leverage and seller competition as the peak spring season arrives?